If Season 1 of Apple TV's The Big Door Prize didn't have you laughing and crying, Season 2 is certainly going to try and make you. Chris O'Dowd and the rest of Deerfield are back, and the Morpho has a few surprises to give. A small town is forever changed when a mysterious machine appears, promising to reveal everyone's true potential. Soon, residents start changing jobs, rethinking relationships, and questioning long-held beliefs, all in pursuit of a better future. Now, this is going to contain some mild spoilers from the first season, so if you don't want to hear those, tap out now and then come back once you've seen it. All right, so pretty much everybody in Season 1 had entered the Morpho machine and found their potential. Then it broke, pushing the townspeople and us as an audience into a minor state of mental chaos, with the looming question, what the heck was this all about? Now, as a massive fan of the IT crowd, this was a no-brainer for me once I learned Chris O'Dowd was in it. And that love, it paid off in one of the first episodes of the second season with a mild IT crowd reference. It fits perfectly with the character and the story setting, so it didn't feel out of place, but it was so unexpected that I cackled. And O'Dowd continues to shine in this. But because of the arcs that are taking shape this season, he's slowly dropping from being one of my favorite characters. And he's still likable in that simple, dumb dad sort of way, and he usually has good intentions. But some situations begin to create more conflict for me in the way that I felt about him. And I count that as some excellent writing, where the narrative can take a lovable character and then through very minor tweaks and interactions, make them much less amiable. It's not like he's a bad guy all of a sudden, or even turns into some serial killer. Although, you know what? That would be an awesome twist, right? Very dark, though. But he then just gradually shifts into the wrong direction for me. And similar feelings happen with multiple other characters. Kind of like in each episode in Season 1, each episode here gives more focus to a particular character over the rest. It doesn't ignore the other cast members. We're just shown more development and background on one or two each new episode. Now, Bo, the town Zamboni driver and sometimes wannabe sheriff, he has some huge displays of growth this time. He's sweet and endearing, and he opens up his heart with exuberance to a lot of the characters. Cass, Hannah, Nat, and Father Reuben, they also have some excellent arcs throughout this season. Each of them eats up their scenes, whether that's through quiet reflection or loud and brash cosplay. I mean, they don't disappoint. And even though I wasn't a big fan of Izzy, the town mayor, she does have a few moments when positive change pokes through her gruff and self-obsessed persona. But the one standout character for me, though, that was Giorgio, played by Josh Segarra. Now, I found him pretty annoying in Season 1, thanks to the self-centeredness and the machismo that he championed as badges of honor. But within this season, he demonstrates massive growth, just illustrating his huge, caring heart and how he truly wants the best for his friends. I mean, he can still go after his dreams with passion and bravado, but he really shines when he's empowering those around him to do those great things. He quickly became my favorite character this season, reminding me slightly of a Ted Lasso sort of persona, just one hyped up on caffeine and possibly cannolis. Now, this is once again 10 episodes with each hovering in that 30-ish minute range. And because I had access to the entire season all at once in order to do this review, I was binging the crap out of this. That was sometimes an emotionally exhausting thing to do because parts of the narrative feel just as though they hem and haw and progress in a stuttered manner, which can lead to a feeling of repetitive slowness. But it's also mirroring what the characters are experiencing as they go back and forth to struggle with what they believe their new vision could mean. And that's where the series excels at melding the funny with the thought-provoking. I'm not sure it would have been as emotionally impactful watching one episode each week, but the content is strong enough to warrant it. There's a good deal of melancholy contained within this season, brought about as the town still struggles to even figure out what their potential could mean, but then also what new frontiers could be spurred on thanks to the visions. And while I laughed a bunch throughout the show, there was also this growing pit in my stomach that something unpleasant or dreadful would befall our characters. And it could be external forces, or through their own doing, but these are all people that I want to see win. I don't want to see them stumble and fall miserably. It's also uncomfortably fun to watch the players wrestle with existential issues, which I think can help to then create our own questions. Now, the writers know how to effectively create just a true dramedy. We're taken through emotional ups and downs, sometimes within a single episode. And I think some of the trajectories are predictable, but that doesn't make them disappointing or lackluster. It just sometimes works to the story's advantage to create anxiety and angst for us over certain characters because we know where they're headed. Now, I was fully invested in the layered stories that are being presented, especially with how they interconnect emotionally and thematically. But then also, this creates a lot more story meat for us to chew on and contemplate each episode. I love how the deep feelings are offset by just the right amount of silliness to keep the storytelling intriguing while also further developing the cast. For instance, there is a play that the high school puts on, and the tension and vibe surrounding it can be a little nerve-wracking and intense. But then the play creates an unexpected atmosphere that breaks that tension for just a while, allowing us to share in the excitement with the crowd. I continued to have a blast with this show. My only real nitpicks are with some of the uneven pacing and the back and forth that the story employs as the characters try to understand meanings. And I also wish the mystery of the Morpho could be a little less vague. I love how invested I've become in waiting to see what the thing might do or show next, but also we're 20 episodes in after this season, and not much in that realm has been revealed. Thankfully, though, despite that, the characters dive into their self-explorations, creating stressful, funny, and even heartbreaking discoveries. The cast continues to shine, with Josh Segarra being the absolute standout for me. Comedy mixes effectively with drama and emotional turmoil, crafting story arcs that are impactful and memorable. I am fully on board with the show, and I need to have Season 3 right away. There's no sex or nudity, but there are a lot of frank sexual discussions, a lot of profanity, no violence. I give Season 2 of the Big Door Prize 4.5 out of 5 couches. So are you a fan of the show? Who's your favorite character? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.